Stevie Anthony. That's at the University of North Carolina a short time ago, where arrests are reported, while at Yale University in Connecticut, police tape has been put up around a pro-Palestinian tent encampment with arrests and suspensions threatened. But at Columbia University in New York City, protesters took over a building early this morning.
The most remarkable scene that I saw was someone smashing the windows of the doorway of Hamilton Hall in with a hammer, almost like a scene from The Shining.
That's Columbia student Jessica Schwalb, who says Jews on campus are in fear as protesters remain barricaded inside that building.
With sleeping bags and backpacks, and they say they're going to stay there unless their demands are met, which is divestment from Israel, transparency over how Columbia is investing their money, and this is another one. They want universal amnesty. They don't want to face any discipline at all for what the last couple of weeks of protests, in particular, obviously now, which has escalated with this occupation of Hamilton Hall, which is home to the dean's office and undergraduate admissions.
Fox's Brian Yennis near the Columbia campus. This as talks in Egypt continue trying to broker a ceasefire in Gaza between Israel and Hamas, but Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu again just vowed they will invade Rafah to root militants out. An operation the U.S. has warned against in that area of Gaza, filled with Palestinian civilians who fled other war zones. 4 law enforcement officers are being mourned in North Carolina.
It's going to take a while to get through this, but we're a resilient team here in Charlotte.
That's Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Chief Johnny Jennings. He says it happened yesterday as officers were trying to make an arrest.
He had a high-powered automatic rifle that he was able to start open fire on our officers.
4 officers killed, 4 wounded. That suspect was killed in return fire. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey guys, don't be that dad without life insurance. When thanks to Ethos, you can be that great dad with life insurance to help keep his family living exactly like they do now, secure and protected in the event of the unexpected. With a fast and easy online experience, some policies as low as $1 a day and up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam, just a few health questions. Ethos makes getting life insurance protection hassle-free. E for easy, E for Ethos at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
While those anti-Israel protests rage on college campuses, angry over the war in Gaza, Russia keeps bombarding Ukraine, which keeps waiting for new American military aid.
In Ukraine's southwest, far from the front line, the port city of Odessa again came under assault. Officials say a Russian missile attack on an educational institution killed at least 5 people. The city's mayor calling Ukraine's adversaries monsters, beasts, savages, scum. Overnight, Ukraine's second city, Kharkiv, was hit by guided bombs. At least 2 died there. Russia denies targeting civilians. Yesterday, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg criticized allies for not meeting their promises of help. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
A U.S. Army veteran now behind bars for what he did trying to help Russia.
32-year-old Gerard Dalkey, who was working for the National Security Agency at the time, was sentenced to nearly 22 years in prison for trying to sell national security secrets to an individual he thought was a Russian official. Court documents show that Dalkey questioned the U.S.'s role in the world and wanted to cause change. Dalkey's attorneys asked for a lighter sentence based on the fact that he suffered a traumatic brain injury and experienced trauma as a child. Those arguments were rejected. Dalkey told the court he was remorseful and ashamed. Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
Former President Trump will soon head back to court in New York for more testimony at his first criminal trial. On Wall Street, stock futures down a bit. 2 more teams advance in the NBA playoffs, Denver and Oklahoma City.
The Thunder yet again hold New Orleans to under 100 points.
The final call on Valley Sports Oklahoma as the Thunder complete a sweep of the Pelicans. The defending champion Nuggets eliminated the LA Lakers. Boston took a 3-1 series lead over Miami. On the ice, the Florida Panthers advance in the NHL playoffs, knocking Tampa Bay out. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Rising tension at a pro-Palestinian protest on the University of Illinois campus being blamed for the cancellation of a 5K race. The race set to take place Friday at the alma mater statue on campus. Cancellation happened after all police signed to the 5K course were reassigned to assist with the incident on campus. Indiana man dead. It follows a crash last week in Champaign. Police say the victim riding a cycle Thursday night when he collided with a car at the intersection of University and 4th Street. He died at the hospital. The driver of the car cited at the scene for failure to yield to oncoming traffic. The crash remains under investigation. Respiratory virus levels way down to the state as respiratory virus season winds down. The overall respiratory virus level now minimal. All counties in the state at low level for COVID-19 hospitalizations. Total number of COVID-19 hospitalizations in the state declining 22% for the week ending April the 20th. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. Hey, good morning. Tuesday, last day of the 4th month of 2024.
It's true.
Come on, man. Where does the time go?
And it's looking so pretty.
Yeah.
The conditions are mild. Nice April 30th.
It is indeed. Our weather this morning with our meteorologist brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
You can buy a FlexiPass and experiment with different fitness options throughout the week. This deal runs through May 3rd. If you want to sample various classes for free with the Urbana Park District, learn more at urbanaparks.org.
All right, meteorologist Greg Solier. Farmers are looking to get into the fields at some point. Some have touched the fields, but it's all about moisture and getting in, my friend. What you see?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. But at least we've improved dryness and drought, virtually non-existent. As a matter of fact, non-existent across the area and probably in some areas now coming off the weekend rainfall a little too much, evident with streams and rivers and still some standing water in the field. So hang in there as we transition back away from these conglomerate, widespread, severe weather and blobs of organized, 1 to 3 inch rains to something a little more seasonal across the area. Not completely dry, but we're transitioning into something more typical for early May around here with the scope and coverage of rains in the forecast. So with time, a general net improvement again expected around here as we go forward into May and beyond. In the short term, some fog areas as you get down towards Arthur, Arcola, maybe down towards the Charleston, Mattoon area, the northern fringes of Coles County, that is, to Edgar County. We do have some dense fog advisories in effect there till 9 this morning, down to fractions of a mile with visibility in mind. Otherwise, back at Willard and Savoy now, 52 degrees there, 49 here around the Philo-Sydney area. Ogden, St. Joe at 48, 49 at Danville, 52 downtown right now. And we'll see an afternoon high after that patchy fog burns off in areas south of Champaign and Champaign County to a milder high of 75 on a light west-southwesterly wind. There may be a couple of drops of rain north of Champaign County tonight with a low down to about 57. Partly sunny, warm for the day tomorrow, up around 80. Shower thunderstorm chance is back in after midnight tomorrow night. Better odds and low down to 60, and maybe half to 2/3 of the area gets some scattered showers and thunderstorms Thursday. Winding down on Friday should be a little more seasonal in rain amounts at 1/4 to a 1/2 inch. Highs at 83 on Thursday, 73 Friday. Largely dry for the weekend. Maybe a couple of raindrops late Saturday. Dry Sunday, Monday. 70s by day, 50s at night. Another warm-up slated for Tuesday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Political strategist, America First Works Executive Director is Ashley Hayek. Anti-Semitic agitators rage on at campuses across the country. We've had it here at the University of Illinois. Ashley, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm putting you in charge. Columbia, where they broke into Hamilton Hall. They kept some janitors hostage for a bit. Now one of the negotiations is complete amnesty, immunity. What? Ashley, tell me what's going on. We're going crazy here.
Well, this is what happens when you have nothing but empty threats. You don't follow through with, demanding accountability of the students. And you also have faculty that are involved in all of this as well. It's these young people on these college campuses, they're professors, they're not just embracing anti-Israel messaging or, Israel should stop the bombing, but they have actual horrific anti-Semitism. They're chanting, these are students that are chanting death to America, kill the Jews, intifada, which is a term of genocide. And, what's interesting, yesterday, dozens of professors formed a human chain around the protesters after the Columbia president ordered them to leave. So several of these professors, I think this is probably their dream, right? And the crazy part is that parents actually pay money to send their children to these types of institutions that would not just tolerate but embrace this type of behavior.
First of all, you break the law, there's no negotiation. I'm sending the National Guard in. Is that too radical?
Absolutely not. You get a very clear look at schools like the University of Florida, who proved that you can allow students to exercise their First Amendment rights, but they made it very clear, they will not tolerate anti-Semitism, threats, slaughters. They told professors, if you engage, you're fired. Same with Texas. Texas nipped this in the bud right away. It is the job of the university to make sure that every single student has equal access to education without discrimination. And clearly, they are failing not just Jewish students, but all students who are not even able to attend their classes at this point. This is what happens when you have a racist, extreme culture that is embraced on these elite campuses.
Okay, so we have a whole lot of people that aren't any students at all. They're getting IDs from students at Columbia anyway, and they're not checking them carefully. They're masked up and all of those things. How much of this is just professional protesters?
Well, even more of a reason to call in the National Guard and move them off the campus for trespassing. I mean, this is absolutely insane. One of the things that we're seeing is that the protesters are being encouraged by paid radicals who are fellows of a Soros-funded group called the U.S. Campaign for Palestinian Rights. All of them have been organized by branches of the Soros-funded Students for Justice in Palestine. And this is a group that has been, quote, trained up to rise up to revolution. They called the terrorist strike on Israel a historic win. And these are groups, the Soros Network are the same groups that fund Antifa and BLM and all of the chaos that was caused during the summer of 2020. This should not be a surprise.
Okay, and you've got the one, I'm not sure which campus. Here at the University of Illinois, we've had some issues as well. Some tents are up. I'm not sure what the status is this morning, but certainly they've talked about suspensions, expulsions, all these other things. But again, if you've got non-students involved in all this, we got to identify who's who, and then you got to arrest them. What is the deadline? Columbia is setting deadlines they just blow through every day.
Well, when you don't have enforcement, you have empty threats and empty promises. But I think this actually goes to show a difference between conservative ideology that enforces rule of law, and you have the liberal ideology, which is basically allowing all of this to happen. So this is a major problem for the left. It's going to be an even bigger problem this November. In addition to the college campuses, what we're seeing is a vote being pushed in the primary elections for uncommitted, meaning that we're going to hold elected officials, specifically Joe Biden, accountable for not being harder or, doing a ceasefire with Israel. And so when you only win a state by 10,000, 20,000, 40,000 votes, and you have populations of 80,000 people who are voting uncommitted because of this specific issue, this will have major implications this November.
How does this end, Ashley?
The only way it's going to end is if they are physically removed from these college campuses. The other piece I would just say is I think the federal government needs to stop giving grant money to these rich schools that allow this chaos to happen and allow this hate speech to happen. And then also I think this takes away the case for any sort of student loan relief any further.
Ashley Hayek, how can people find you?
We're at AmericaFirstWorks.com.
Ashley, Hayek. Thanks for your time this morning. Appreciate it. Thank you. Ashley Hayek on the Tavin's Towing phone line, ESPN 93.5. Griff Jenkins, Fox News television anchor and star reporter, will be joining us from Washington University at about 8:08 this morning.
Yes, that's right.
ESPN 93.5, it is 7:14 on this Tuesday. Let's check our sports headlines.
And good to hear the show anytime at StevieJay.com. Had a question about that the other day, is how do we listen to the show? And it is available online, so that's a good example of this is talking about local topics and especially sports headlines with the Cardinals and Tigers game getting canceled because of rain. That means a doubleheader today. Here's your Redbird recap.
The Cardinals and Tigers were scheduled to open up a 3-game series last night in Detroit, but due to bad weather, the game was postponed and it will be made up as part of a traditional doubleheader today. The Cardinals will send Kyle Gibson to the mound in the opener. He enters with a 2-2 record and a 4.35 ERA. Former Cardinal Jack Flaherty will face St. Louis for the first time in his career. After being traded to Baltimore at the deadline last season, he had mixed results with the Orioles before signing a free agent contract with the Tigers this past winter. Flaherty is looking for his first win of the year. He comes in with an 0-1 record and a 4.91 ERA. Yesterday's scheduled starter, Steven Matz, will start the nightcap looking for his second win of the season. First pitch of Game 1 is scheduled for 2:40. That means coverage gets underway at 1:45. The second game will start about 40 minutes following the conclusion of Game number 1. For the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, I'm Matt Pauley.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
Cubs over the Mets 3-1. They've got a 6-10 start over on US 105.9 today, and Minnesota beat the Chicago White Sox 3-2. Their game will start at 6:40. The transfer portal is trending here in Illini Nation, Stevie, with Nico Moretti saying, "I'm out of here."
Yep. Nico is
Political strategist.
Hold on. Nico is now we got two.
Yes.
We got Ty Rogers.
Ty Rogers and Trey Gibbs Longhorn.
Yeah, that's it. Those are the only two from an Elite Eight basketball team. Now, we knew we were old, but I didn't see Nico leaving. But you're bringing in, Kylan Boswell. He's going to be our point guard.
Okay.
And can Nico play Power 5 basketball? I don't know.
Right.
He won the Iowa game at home for us. He hit those 2 threes. Anyway, it's you got to ask, is Ty Rogers staying? Yeah, I think so.
Right.
Dre said he's staying.
Well, and we have until tomorrow, May 1st, when the transfer portal window closes, I believe. Andrew.
It's tonight, isn't it?
Is it? And then May 1st is,
Yeah, that's it.
Essentially free agency
that's it,
or something.
And we mean it.
Exactly.
What has happened to college basketball,
Well,
man?
and then we had an early transfer, Andrew Dennis, but he's from Michigan, and it looks like he might favor football at Michigan, kind of going home. But he was part of our spring ball on the as an offensive lineman.
We lost a kid to Wisconsin, I think, too.
Enrolling early. Yeah. So
lineman or something. Anyway.
Speaking of football, Kansas City Chiefs do a extended deal with Travis Kelce, and it's pretty sweet. And we also have the Illinois baseball team in action against Indiana State, number 24. That's at 6 o'clock, in case you'd like to catch a game.
Yeah, catch Dan Hartlieb's ball club. Dan Hartlieb's got himself a really good baseball team right at the top of the Big Ten. So it's just that Illinois baseball is happening. It is a good baseball team, so that's exciting. All right, it is 7:18, ESPN 93.5. State Senator Chapin Rose coming up at the bottom of the hour.
Sounds good.
We text him and I said, I always appreciate a ratings spike.
There you go.
So we appreciate that.
Love it.
Our weather this morning with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
And they've got a door offer, especially in April, if you'd like to look at that today and get an estimate on your front door, back sliding doors. Learn more, kramersiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Much better days worth of weather ahead for the day today, and generally speaking, a dry setup expected till Thursday. That'll be the next complex frontal boundary, and a couple of disturbances along it will increase the showery weather prospects around here for the end part of the weekend, early on into the weekend. Another weather system in sight by mid next week, but temperatures stay mild to warm. 75 today with a little patchy fog around this morning early on, and a mostly sunny balance to the day. Light west-southwest wind, increasing clouds tonight. Stray shower chance after midnight down to 57. Partly sunny, warm for the day tomorrow. Up around 80 in the southwest to south wind. Could be a shower thunderstorm after midnight tomorrow night too. Low down to about 60. Warm and more humid weather Thursday. Partly sunny. A couple of showers, thunderstorms around morning. More so for the afternoon. Up to 83. Shower chance here with a cooler Friday. That'll be in the morning hours. The shower threat at 73. 75 on Saturday. Could be a shower late in the day. Sunday, Monday dry with high temperatures still well in the 70s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting Meteorologist Greg Solier.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Local, personal, trusted. Hi.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
McDonald's is reporting a mixed quarter. Earnings top forecast, but sales growth slowed. The burger chain is seeing some customers pulling back. It says people have turned more discriminating with every dollar they spend. McDonald's also says it's been impacted by the Middle East war. The stock is losing ground. Coca-Cola shares are higher after an upbeat quarter. Burger King's earnings came in better than expected, and the BK near you may be getting an upgrade. The company plans to invest $300 million in store remodels. 3M is cutting its dividend following the spinoff of its healthcare division on April 1st. GE Healthcare Technologies reported a higher profit, though Wall Street was expecting even better numbers, and GE Healthcare shares are lower. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
It's time to take the quiz. 5 questions, 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week.
History, pop culture, science, sports, civics. How much do you know? Let's find out.
Who was the first person to walk on the moon?
Jackson or something?
Neil Armstrong.
Take the quiz every weekday at thequiz.fox and then listen to the quiz podcast to find out how you did.
Play, share, and of course, listen to the quiz right now at thequiz.fox.
Local, personal, trusted. Hi, this is Ata Durakan with First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, and we've been serving Champaign County since 1908. Our institution is safe, strong, and stable. We operate on a foundation of responsible and sound practices, and you can rest easy knowing we're your bank. Rated 5-star superior by Bauer Financial Inc., fast, friendly, and local, with local loan decisions and underwriting. If you're not already banking with us, give us a try, and we think you'll love it here. First Federal Savings Bank, 356bank.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 435120.
The Alma Market is your one-stop shop for one-of-a-kind creations from the University of Illinois alumni and students, as well as unique finds from some of your favorite Urbana-Champaign area businesses. Treat yourself or a loved one and support your fellow Illini today. If you're a University of Illinois student, alum, or Champaign-Urbana area business, feature your products on the Alma Market. Becoming a vendor is a great way to expand your reach and connect with Illini across the country. For more details, visit almamarket.org. Go Illini!
Basketball star Coleman Hawkins about Pacifica on Green.
I'm Coleman Hawkins. I like living at Pacifica on Green because it's really a home environment. Everyone's very welcoming. There's great space for whenever family wants to visit, great room size. It just came with everything I needed in order to feel like I was at home and feel like I can live here and have a good time.
The ultimate in student housing, Pacifica on Green. Visit them at pacificaongreen.com. Yeah, really a nice place for student housing. You just ought to tour that thing. It's really nice and not that crazy. I mean, it's affordable. Okay, Pacifica on Green. That's on Green near Neal Street and right not far from the overpass there. All right, ESPN 93.5, 723 in Champaign-Urbana. The protests continue across the country. In some places like Columbia, Washington University is apparently not good. Or is that GW? Anyway, we're going to hear from Griff Jenkins after 8 o'clock this morning. He'll be standing there on campus telling us what's going on. But Columbia kind of got it going. And notice how the tents are all the same. And they're new. So they're getting funding from, I know, a number of sources. And apparently we're calling out phone numbers here in Champaign at our campus.
Just in case you need bail.
Yeah, who's got the bail money? And how much is that?
Somebody's supporting something somewhere, that's for sure.
Well, if you have to come up with, 10%? Can't we set bail at $1 million? The county could make some coin here. It's $100,000.
Hadn't thought about that.
There you go. Got to think of that money-making thing here. I don't know. It's just crazy times. And I heard a protester, who knows, you get confused. The campuses look about the same. Just a bunch of people in tents.
Well, and oftentimes masked up, right?
Well, you can't, sure. Yeah, it'll be identified. The one guy, was it in Texas? Wrong state to do this. He was being hauled away, and he's going, "You're hurting me."
Yeah.
And then he collapsed, and then the guy carried him, and he started screaming.
That's right.
And then I heard a protester last night say, not one October 7, the massacre by Hamas on Israel of over, 1,200 people, including babies. He said, not one October 7, not 100, not 10,000 October 7th. So he's screaming that. So.
Okay.
So if you are anywhere near support of that, then you got issues. There are some mental health issues.
Do we approach these people on the quad and talk to them at all?
Sure.
Maybe I should take my phone and do a live on the show Stevie J
Stevie
interview.
J Broadcasting is not sending you there.
Okay.
Why would?
Got my phone right here.
Yeah.
Gonna dial 359-2255. Have a conversation with somebody. See how that goes.
Hey, we're on the Tapman's Towing phone line with a protester. What are you doing? Yeah. I think the not secret anymore, but there are a whole lot of people that have zero business being here. They're not students. This isn't hey, let's march for this and all this. When you're talking about, death to Israel and death to America, I don't know what they're chanting here, but across the country, we're getting plenty of death to America and river to the sea, meaning genocide. And I mean, it's unbelievable that you can vocalize this and pretend it's the Vietnam War. Back then we were.
Well, there was a text in saying 10 soldiers and Nixon's coming. We all know what happened there.
It is. Listen, it's part of our Constitution. It's the most important. Free speech. That's fine. But when you start breaking the law in that, then it kind of you need to end that. You can't do that.
Right.
Otherwise, you get more of it. You get what you tolerate, and you'll get more of this. The more you acquiesce. You give a mouse a cookie, they want a glass of milk. It doesn't end. So you've got to be firm in these situations, and a lot of our college campuses are not firm. Their leadership is not firm. And if you don't make a decision, and they're hard decisions, I'm not saying any of this is easy.
Right.
But when you start crossing the line and putting up encampments, that goes away now. There's no talking. We're not going to sit down with you and have a negotiation. The last person to do that was Nancy Cantor. When they took over, it was Swanland, and they were talking about the chief.
Yes.
And they negotiated a deal to talk to. Nancy was anti-chief anyway,
I know.
She used that as a bridge to get the chief gone. That was back then. I would never forget that morning.
Yeah, that's right.
Nuts. Took over the building and got the negotiation of the. What? Where's the SWAT team? Where's my National Guard? You're not doing that. We aren't doing this. You're breaking the law. You're presumably students. I think back then they actually were students. But now we've got all kinds of people involved that we don't have any idea who they are.
Right.
And don't forget, we got 11 million new people in our country that we don't know who they are.
That's true.
Okay. Well, at least there's always interesting things going on in your life every day. And this is certainly... and what happens to the students that happen to be there? They don't really know why they're there. And they're supposed to graduate, and now they're not. How's that going on?
Oh, boy.
How's that feeling at home?
Right.
Man. Okay, it's 7:28. Chapin Rose.
Yes.
What's up with the Unit 4 school board?
Oh, really? He's going to hit that topic too.
Well, I mean, he's had some public comments about that.
Okay.
But it is a dysfunctional body. They can't even have a meeting.
Well, and who's got next on that chain of command?
I think the regional superintendent.
Okay.
Regional superintendent up in Rantoul is going, huh? You want me to what?
You got next, because we don't have a quorum
that's
over
what
here.
The state statute says? I resign. 7:29. Dixie Chopper, and he's available out there?
Absolutely. I'm going to throw you out a couple of specials that we're having right now. One is a Rhino 15-foot rotary flex wing with a Dixie Chopper Classic 35-horse 60-inch mower. It's industrial. $35,000 for the pair.
Both of them?
Yep, both of them together. $35,000.
I take it that's an outstanding deal because I'm not...
Saving $13,000.
Okay, wow. So,
you're in the mowing business. Time for an upgrade.
It's time to go big time. You'll get all the yards done really quickly with those
And then if you're looking for just a residential mower on its own, we've got a Z2 48-inch that we've got out there right now for $59.99. That is $2,000 off.
What is the location?
That is 1306 Triumph Drive in Urbana. It's right down from Farm and Fleet on 45. Or check out Dedicated Diesel on Facebook.
As Tapman's Towing celebrates 50 years of serving Central Illinois, we're always seeking good people to serve our great customers. Our team of expert tow professionals would like to interview others with CDLs, previous tow experience, or a strong interest in serving others. If you enjoy serving people, love working in the outdoors, and looking for a career, not just a job, we should talk soon. Do you have a strong desire but lack the experience? We should still talk. Visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Fox News, MCJ Papa. Anti-Israel protests on college campuses. Arrests being made at the University of North Carolina. While in New York City at Columbia University, protesters smashing windows, taking over Hamilton Hall.
This is a very important building for Columbia University and Columbia College. This is where the Dean of Columbia College is. It's where the Center for the Core Curriculum is, and that's the centerpiece of every student's academic experience.
Jonas Du, a student there, not taking part in the protest, speaking earlier on Fox and Friends. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows to invade Rafah with or without a deal as a ceasefire talks with Hamas continue. Day 9, the trial of Donald Trump.
Back on the stand will be Gary Farrow. He is Michael Cohen's banker. He set up the show company that Cohen used to pay off Stormy Daniels. Farrow's testimony is designed to start laying out for the jury the financial document trail.
That's Fox's Eric Shawn at the courthouse. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Teen is dead and follows a crash in Mattoon over the weekend. 17-year-old died following the accident Saturday near Woodlawn Avenue. Coles County Coroner's Office identified the victim as Daniel Brummett. The investigation continues. Calumet City man charged with murder in a Champaign shooting in February. Police say a man shot February 19 in the 700 block of West Vine Street. Victim treated and released. Investigators determined the man seated in his car in a driveway. When Alan Williams approached, the car opened fire. Williams then fled. An investigation underway. It follows an armed robbery in Urbana. Police say a masked man armed with a gun enters a business Friday in the 1500 block of North Cunningham Avenue, demanding money. The cashier gave him an unknown amount, then fled the scene on foot to a nearby apartment complex where he was seen entering a four-door sedan. Anyone on his whereabouts, you're asked to contact police in this incident. But that's what's happening. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim Miller. ESPN 93.5, our weather with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Busey for over 150 years. Member, FDIC.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana this Saturday. Pretty decent spell ahead over the next couple of days. Next significant weather system due in for the second half of the week. And by and large, pretty acceptable weather. Pleasant temperatures over the upcoming weekend time frame. Another one of these spring weather systems due in middle part of next week as well. A little patchy fog around this morning. Mostly sunny skies, milder weather, otherwise 75. And a light west-southwest wind. Clouds gather tonight. Could be a stray shower, especially north of Champaign. After midnight tonight, down at 57. Partly sunny, warm for the day. Tomorrow, the high around 80. Better odds for a shower thunderstorm after midnight. Tomorrow night, lows near 60. A warmer, more humid Thursday. A couple of showers, thunderstorms around both morning and afternoon. These tending to be more scattered in nature at 83. Lingering shower chance Friday. Cooler at 73. Weekend forecast not bad. Maybe a shower late Saturday night, right Sunday, and Monday. High temperature still well into the 70s, back to 80. And a shower thunderstorm chance next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Well, he's state senator. He's trying to come out of his shell and be more communicative.
Yeah.
He's shy. He's Chapin Rose, state senator. How are you, Senator Rose?
What's going on, guys? How are you doing this morning?
All right, issue one. Hey, I'm putting you in charge of the school board. You fix that at Champaign.
Issue one?
Yeah, you can.
No.
You're gonna You're gonna get in the room. We're locking the door. Do y'all come out friends? Let's go. Come on. What's happening?
Well,
what the heck's going on in Unit 4?
That might have worked 6 weeks ago. So, and that's look. First of all, let's be clear on this. I didn't issue a press release at the time. This is over a month ago. I didn't do anything publicly because I wasn't trying to kick dirt up on this situation. But about 5 weeks ago, it was clear that school board was going nowhere fast, and it was right after the two resignations of two of the board members and two of the other board members had kind of walked out of a meeting. I had just called our state school superintendent, Tony Sanders, and said, "Hey, Dr. Sanders, is there anything you can do? I realize that, he doesn't have the power or the authority to directly influence anything, but he is the state superintendent of schools." And he said, I said, "Can we get some mediators or facilitators or any way you can just help try to put these people back in a room into some functioning semblance of, of a board?" And he said, "Look, I'll be happy to call the superintendent," and which he did within either that day or the next day. He called the Champaign school superintendent and offered to send some professional mediators down. And this is all over a month ago, right? I didn't do a press release. I wasn't trying to, make matters worse. I just wanted to kind of quietly see if the state could help, facilitate some conversations to get this board back to the table. And quite frankly, who's against that? Like, who would be against having, mediators and conversations? You'd already had two board members resign. I mean, it certainly couldn't hurt. Hard to see how it could make matters worse when you've got two board members who had resigned. But in any event, Tony Sanders did that. He conveyed that message. I went about my life. About 3 weeks later, 2.5, 3 weeks later, I find out from one of the board members. She says, "Hey, your guy never did anything." So what do you mean, Mike? Oh, by the way, and I talked to 3 of the 5 board members at that time, and who'd all told me that they'd be willing to give it a college try at mediation. So this other board member calls me up, one of the 3, and says, "Hey, your guy never did anything." I said, "What do you mean he didn't do anything?" She's like, "She's never done anything." I said, "Well, yes, he did. He offered to provide mediators." And that board member says to me, says, "Chapin, we were never told that." So what do you mean you were never told that? And that's when that board member then went to the next school board meeting and said, "Hey, what's going on here? Why did you not tell us that the state superintendent of schools had offered to help?" And, the board member then, or the superintendent then accused that board member of not reading her emails, which that board member went back and looked at all of her emails. There was never an email. But, in any event, I was then asked by the News-Gazette to write an op-ed explaining why I even called in the first place. And frankly, I called because it's the right thing to do. Who's against having a conversation? Okay. Well, apparently, as it turns out, a lot of people are against having a conversation.
Well,
I was never more surprised at these Facebook comments and posts after, they're like, "Rose is grandstanding." I didn't issue a press release at the time. I didn't do anything at the time. I quietly just asked for help to try to get these kids. The adults in the room aren't functioning. All right. So the kids needed somebody to stand up and try to get some mediators in there. All right? That's all I did.
So they thought you were just meddling, grandstanding. That's right. Chapin.
Widely controversial. That daring to suggest that people get some professional mediation and sit down and have a conversation is so awfully horrific of me. All these people with too much time in their hands jump on the Facebook and go crazy. But here's the other thing, too. And people need to understand this. When any professional person decides they're going to move to a community, if they've got a family, the first thing they're going to do is, okay, what are the schools like?
Yep.
All right? That's what they want to know. So if Carl's trying to get us a doctor, or the U of I is trying to get us a professor, or Christy's trying to get us a specialist, that person is going to, if they've got kids, they're going to type in Champaign-Urbana schools, and right now, what's going to come back in that search result isn't good. It's really not good. Okay? So the rest of us would like to have a doctor to go to when we're sick. We'd like to take our kid to the emergency room when they're sick. Okay? It's also the economic engine that drives this whole region. So to have this kind of a black eye emanating from Champaign schools really isn't just confined to Champaign. It's confined, it spreads to the whole region. And that's the other thing. These people on Facebook, leave it to Rose looking out for the doctors. No, actually, I'm looking out for everybody who wants a doctor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you're a 20-something doctor who just graduated from med school and finished their residency, okay, your late 20s, you got little kids, and you're looking for your first job. Guess what you're going to do? You and your wife and your husband, whatever it is going to sit down and go, what are the schools like in Champaign-Urbana? And right now, that's not going to show anything other than complete chaos. So, hey,
it's
who's against the conversation? And apparently there's a lot of people.
Nobody should be against the conversation. It's Chapin Rose State Senator on the Tapman's Towing phone line, ESPN 93.5 with Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie Jay. You can text in if you have a question or comment about this. 217-359-2255. I'd like to know what happened. I mean, I know you aren't at parties together, and you're probably not helping each other clean out your garage, but, man, you're a school board member. You got to be able to stay in the room. How bad is that to where you can't even meet?
Well, and here's the sad part, Stevie. I mean, look, 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, whenever it was I called Dr. Sanders, maybe mediation wouldn't have worked, but maybe it would have, okay? But now, since then, it's completely off the rails. I mean, you've got the two board members that have totally walked out of meetings. They're not going back. This is all going to end up at the regional superintendent of schools office to appoint new board members. And here's the thing, okay? This is ultimately why when the News Gazette called and said, hey, you need to write an op-ed on why you did this. Here's the deal. The state superintendent of schools, Dr. Sanders, quietly conveyed an offer to this Champaign school superintendent to help. Look, we got some mediators, we got some professionals. Let's at least try, okay? Why wasn't that offer conveyed to the full board? Okay? Simple question. Why wasn't it? And then Sheila Boozer sits there at the meeting last week, maybe 2 weeks ago now, and tells her board member, says, oh, well, you didn't read your email. Yes, you did. It was never conveyed. It was never conveyed to the full board.
First of all,
maybe it was conveyed to one or two members.
All due respect, if you're talking about something that's important, you make a phone call. You don't email that, right? I mean,
fine.
Got to call them. You don't. I mean, emails get lost all the time, but you need there's something this urgent, this critical. You get on the phone and you go see them. I mean, this is
Dr.
important.
Sanders called the state superintendent, at my request, called the local superintendent, offered help. The local superintendent apparently, for whatever reason, the full board of education was never informed of that offer.
All right.
Okay? That is absolute, I mean, I don't know why. Again, just ask yourself this. Who would be against having the conversation? And by the way, there's a lot of people on Facebook who are apparently against even having a conversation.
No,
so
listen, this is where we are. We're us against them. Shut up, you're stupid. Right. I mean, that's where we now. Right. The question now is, now what? Regional superintendent, they never thought they had to pick the next board member. I mean, how do we do this?
Picking two board members.
Okay, so how does this?
So you got to wait 60 days. You got to wait 60 days from the vacancy before the regional office can meet. And pick that person. I don't know any more about it than what anybody else does, but having read about it and talked briefly with the regional soup, it sounds like he's going to put a committee in place to go through applications for those who want to decide or want to be considered, and then he'll make a decision based on the input of that committee. But again, Gary's his own person; he's his own office. I would simply just say, I don't know that 6 weeks ago mediation would have worked or not, okay? But it was certainly worth a try. It was certainly worth it for the kids. I mean, this is the problem, man. You got adults in the room who are acting like kids, and you got the kids who are actually paying the price, right? So, at what point in time, when are the adults going to stand up and say, enough's enough, we're going to sit down and have mediation? Well, that's not going to happen now. Mainly because apparently the local superintendent of schools never conveyed that message, that offer from the state superintendent to provide mediators to the full board.
All right, so Chapin, if they get two more people and Amy Armstrong and Betsy Holder still don't want to go, they can still have a meeting because 5 will be enough?
No, you can't have them. Oh, no, you'd have 7 at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So if Amy and Betsy, if they're still not going,
yes, you still have you could have a board meeting at that point in time.
But I would really like to know if Mark Teese or somebody I could get behind the scenes, somebody to tell me what is this? Is this a woke against anti-woke? What is the issue? What is making them so far apart?
I don't think it's. Look, again, these are adults trying to turn this into politics. Okay, I think you've got new board members who had legitimate questions. I mean, look. Let me give you the legitimate questions asked. Okay, you're asking us to pay for these legal bills, to authorize payment of legal bills. What are the legal bills for?
Fair.
We're not going to tell you.
What?
We're not going to tell you.
What do you mean
you're not going to tell us? We got to. I mean, board members have a fiduciary duty to know what expenses it is that they are authorizing payment for.
Yes.
Okay, they have a duty to the taxpayers. And at one point in time, they were told they had to FOIA the
Unbelievable.
bills.
Yeah, unbelievable.
They're the board members.
Unbelievable.
Okay?
Yeah, you got
so then I would ask this other question. Okay, Steve, let's take this another thing. Because now here's the problem. Now that Sheila Boozer has put so much light on this gross incompetence, okay, now there's all kinds of other questions. Well, if you weren't allowed to know what the bills were before, how was it that all you board members were authorizing payment of bills if you didn't know what was in them?
That can't be right. There's no way they authorized bills they didn't know.
Right.
No, but that didn't happen, right? There's no way you authorize anything that I wouldn't authorize anything here if I didn't know what we're paying for.
Right. But it was happening.
Come on.
And look, Stevie, simplistically, here's what happens on all these boards. You get a bunch of well-intentioned, nice people for the good reason. For good reasons. They show up, and they do their job, and they just do it culturally the way that we've just always done it, right? Well, then you get a new board member, say Betsy Holder, for example, who happens to be an attorney, and she shows up and says, hey, wait a minute, what's in these bills that we're paying, in these legal bills? You know, I'm an attorney, what is it we're paying for? You know, and that's not an unfair question, okay? it's simply not an unfair question.
You wouldn't pay a bill at home if you didn't know what it was for. You wouldn't pay it.
But then you say to yourself, okay, this is how a professional would. Board member Holder, let's talk about that. Here are the bills. Here's what they're for. Here are the cases that have been filed. Here's the defense. Here's, all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
Great, thanks. Vote to pay the bills, right? That's how you professionally handle it.
Wow.
You don't say to an elected board member, whoever they are, no, we're not going to tell you what it is we're asking you to pay for. That doesn't work. That's not how the system was designed.
It makes you suspicious. Why? Why won't you?
Right.
Yes,
And this
does.
has happened.
I mean,
I've been to meetings where I was like, okay, the treasurer's not here with the report. Let me text yada, 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 and let me see if he can bring it over, because I know this dude, and it is in the weeds on this stuff, and nobody's getting paid to do these volunteer positions. I just did an online search about Unit 4 School Board to find out the most recent article, and it spells out what are the school board responsibilities, and it says hire and evaluate the district superintendent. Approve policies and procedures to commensurate with the district's mission to positively transform learning and life outcomes for students through their educational justice, equity, and excellence. All right, and then the third is manage taxpayers' money fiscally responsibly ways to support our schools.
First of all, I paid $1 zillion, as we all did, for that referendum, right? Where's my money? I want to know what's happening to it.
But somewhere along the way, there's been day-to-day operations of the school district, and this vitriolic verbal and written volleys, and it's just too much for someone who's volunteering to do all this.
Thank you so much for reading that. But here's the problem: the board isn't even meeting now. Okay, so all those all those responsibilities and duties you just read out loud are completely useless because the board isn't even meeting. Right? So again, and look, folks, here's the deal. I've done all I could do. I asked state superintendent to offer to help. He offered to help. That for whatever reason, the local superintendent decided she didn't want to let the whole board know that offer was even conveyed. Okay. Now, beyond that, all right, I don't regret doing it, but I will also point out again, I didn't issue a press release at the time because I wasn't trying to kick up dust to make this worse. I was trying to solve a problem by getting some mediators in. Okay, there would have been no reason to unless you were actually grandstanding, to kick up dust at the time, because all we were trying to solve a problem for the kids, which is get some mediators in here and try to get the adults in the room to start acting like adults again. Right, that was the goal. However, that didn't work. The superintendent, for whatever reason, didn't do that. And all I'm going to say now is, I can't believe the number of people on Facebook who think we shouldn't even have this conversation, that somehow it's not important to worry about the U of I recruiting professors or Carl recruiting physicians. Excuse me. In December, I did take one of my twins to the emergency room. I'm pretty damn glad we had an emergency room because Carl was able to recruit physicians and nurses to come here. Okay? Well, if they're going to Google it and see all this nonsense about the Champaign schools, who's going to want to bring their kids here? Who's going to want to move here? Okay,
it's the backbone.
Schools.
But we have now lost culturally. Just any common sense at all that says, "Hey, let's just sit down and have a conversation. Let's bring some mediators in. 3 of the 5 board members that I talked to at the time, and they were on both sides of this disagreement, 3 of the 5 board members that I talked to at the time said to me, you know what, if you brought in facilitators, the state brought facilitators, we'd try. We'd give it the good old-fashioned college try. Okay, great. That's a place to start. But you know what? It didn't happen. And now it's completely off the rails, and it's not going to happen, and now we're all going to wait for Gary Lewis's team to hopefully get us a couple new board members. But again, you know what? I still represent, people like, oh, you don't even represent Champaign. No, I don't. I represent Bonneville, which has kids in the Champaign School District. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But moreover, this Champaign-Urbana is the economic engine for the whole region. Okay? And people are like, well, Chapin Rose defending doctors. I'm not defending doctors. I'd like to see one when my kid's sick, and so would you, you goofball. I mean, think. Does anybody on Facebook think before they speak? Right?
You don't even try and justify some of this stuff. I mean, it's just crazy stuff.
All
right. Well, we didn't
get politics over kids.
What would you? I got to go. But what would you want the listener, my listener, to do about this if they're in Champaign schools?
Well, look, I would call the 5 board members and tell them to get their head out of there, fill in the blanks, and get back to the table and start working together. Okay, that's what I would do. But I don't, I don't live in that school district. I'm not a constituent of theirs, although I represent part of it. But, look, these adults need to start acting like adults and go back in the room. The other thing and this is a fair question now because the superintendent, through her conduct, has now raised more questions than given answers. Why wasn't the full board told of this?
Mm-hmm.
What's in these legal bills that she didn't want anybody to know about?
Wow.
It's just like what you said, Stevie. Now it's gone from innocent, well, this is just the way we've always done it, but let's go have the conversation. Now it's like, well, wait a minute, what are you trying to hide?
Yeah.
We've been talking about Unit 4 School Board.
Yeah. Unit 4 School Board, the dysfunction that is, I don't know how this...
And how do we proceed?
Yeah, how do you fix it?
Mm-hmm.
You just got to get it. Yikes. Okay, Chapin Rose, how can people contact our state senator, Rose?
SDNChapinRose.com.org, one of those two.
I don't know why I even asked you.
Just type in
I don't even
Senator
know.
Chapin Rose
Don't even know
why. If I told you I'm
Why do I
if I
ask
told you I'm going back to the dumb phone, I'm going to go back to the dumb phone.
I just don't know why I asked that question.
But we didn't even get to the tents and stuff on campus.
I was
going to
announce it.
Darn it.
In our last 30 seconds, I was going to announce it. You're now the new president of Columbia University in New York City, Chapin. Congratulations.
Everyone is fired.
I'd be kind of like that too, plus the National Guard. Anyway, Chapin, thanks for your time. It's always a pleasure, sir.
You guys have a great day.
Okay.
Send ChapinRose.com.
Okay, we're going to check your weather. Then we're going to talk about adopting a pet. All that coming up next. ESPN 93.5.
Better banking experiences start with local people and local decision making. Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. We are a locally owned community bank that has served the area since 1955. Fisher National is rooted in the communities we serve. We pride ourselves on providing financial resources that match or better the mega banks. We are your friends and neighbors who are involved in your communities and take a vested interest in seeing our customers thrive and prosper. Offering a line of rewarding consumer-centric deposits, home mortgages, small business banking, and agricultural lending. There are no compromises banking local with Fisher National. Our convenient online and mobile tools are second to none. We'll work hard to meet your financial needs and earn your trust. Learn more about Fisher National at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches. Our team looks forward to serving you.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Well, we get everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana. It's Saturday. Pretty decent spell ahead over the next couple of days. Next significant weather system due in for the second half of the week. And by and large, pretty acceptable weather. Pleasant temperatures over the upcoming weekend time frame. Another one of these spring weather systems due in middle part of next week as well. A little patchy fog around this morning. Mostly sunny skies, milder weather, otherwise 75. And a light west-southwest wind. Clouds gather tonight. Could be a stray shower, especially north of Champaign. After midnight tonight, down at 57. Partly sunny, warm for the day. Tomorrow, the high around 80. Better odds for a shower thunderstorm after midnight tomorrow night. Lows near 60. And a warmer, more humid Thursday. A couple of showers, thunderstorms around both morning and afternoon. These tending to be more scattered in nature at 83. Lingering shower chance Friday. Cooler at 73. Weekend forecast not bad. Maybe a shower late Saturday night, dry Sunday, and Monday. High temperature still well into the 70s, back to 80. And a shower thunderstorm chance next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Oh, what is this? It's Adopt a Pet Day. Hey,
Yes.
this is Dr. Todd Likens, our pet pro veterinarian at Madison, Kirby, and Champaign. So there's a lot that goes into adopting a little doggy or kitty, huh?
Or anything with fur.
Well, my wife is, we're finishing off, with our huge litter, we're finishing off our adoptions. We got three puppies that are going to be adopted via phone today. So I thought, hey, let's just talk about what should these people on the other side be looking for when they're adopting, either in person or versus buying them online. So you just need to do your research either way before you start, because I'm telling you right now, as soon as you make that eye contact with a doggy in the shelter or wherever, you're sold. But make sure you kind of know what you're looking for, so you can keep your heart back a little bit until you find the dog you really want.
Mm-hmm.
So I talk all the time about size. I generally say the younger the kids, you want a little bit older dog, because a puppy with young kids generally means the puppies are going to see them as litter mates, and there's going to be rough play, and the kids are going to be scared. It's an easier match to have a little older dog that you can see the personality on if you go that way.
Yeah, and you just don't know the history of the dog most of the time, right?
Right, too. And your age needs, too. Look, you're a great example, Stevie J. Bigger dogs when your kids are younger, and now you're into littler dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They fit your lifestyle better at this point. So, if you live in a small place, do you really want a St. Bernard?
Yeah, some kind of what's the biggest one?
Great Dane.
Great Dane.
Yes.
I've seen people in Great Danes at itty-bitty houses, and the door doesn't look the same because they jump up and scratch it.
Exactly.
No, you're right. It's got to fit. But man, you're right, Todd. When you see the eyes, it's over. When I see the eyes of Boofer, it's like, come here, baby. Come here, Boofer.
Right. So, and how many times, genetics, I think I talk about this all the time. If you see the parents, it really helps you figure out what the babies are going to be, the offspring. Genetics are huge. I see it all the time. And it's so hard because, most of the time you don't have access to meeting the parents. But if you do, sure try and get a view or a little time with the parents to make sure their personality is what you're looking for. Because that will carry through to the kids.
And summer's good because it's warmer, right? Isn't that easier?
Right. Everybody's out. It's house training. It's easier to go outside and house train them than doing that in the middle of the winter.
Yeah.
It's a better way.
It's a big deal. That's why we always say never give a pet as a present.
No, it's such a commitment, and anymore it's going to be more and more of a financial commitment too. With the way my profession's going, the prices are just outrageous. What can you say? It's just the way of the world, I guess.
So I know it's a National Adopt a Shelter Pet Day today, and I just went to cuhumane.org, and we have a wonderful organization in the Champaign County Humane Society.
Absolutely.
They have their Mud Strut event coming up on Sunday from 4 to 7 at Crystal Lake Park in Urbana, with lots of activities for the dogs and food trucks and prizes to win some of the pet contests. But on the website, it also talks about their new program called Home to Home. So if you want to meet with the animal, maybe you have a situation where you're moving and you're going into a facility or a place that doesn't have, it's not pet friendly and you have to get rid of your animal. This is a great program too. So there are ways to navigate this, Dr. Todd. So thanks for your insight.
Yeah, it's just, I like to say it's so much, I see so much impulse. We sure shy away from it with what we do. And I try and take the impulse out of it so you make good decisions. Get yourself, if you're a jogger, you don't want a dachshund.
Right, that's right.
Just won't match up.
Yeah, but it comes back to the eyes thing, because you'll pick them with the eyes, man. Doesn't matter the breed. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Oh, boy.
You will. They melt your heart, and it's instant bond. And by the time you go for your vet checks, it's too late. I can tell them they've got a birth defect, but it's too late. And the breeding profession, they kind of know that well. They won't give you your money back. They'll give you another pet in exchange. And really, that's not fair because you're already hooked, and they know you're going to keep the dog that's got the problem.
All right, do your homework and be careful.
Yes.
Do your homework and be careful. Dr. Todd, thank you for your time. We appreciate it very much.
All right, we'll see you guys.
All right, Dr. Todd Likens, Pet Pro, Madison, Kirby, and Champaign. Okay, coming up from George Washington University. Today marks the 6th day of protest at George Washington University. Half-mile I didn't realize it was a half mile from the White House.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're going to talk to Griff Jenkins on the ground.
And you can chime in, 217-359-2255.
Okay, we're going to break for the news from Fox at the top of this hour. We have a traditional doubleheader today in Detroit.
Yeah.
Cardinals take on the Tigers, and it's 2 for 1. That's good. Been a while. They usually split out and separate, get two house. This is WSJK, Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
This is a Fox News alert. One protest escalates, others face crackdowns. I'm Dave Anthony. That's at Yale University in Connecticut, where police showed up and an anti-Israel tent encampment was cleared. Arrests reported at UConn, and protesters have also been taken into custody this morning at the University of North Carolina. At Columbia University in New York City, some pro-Palestinian demonstrators took it to another level, taking over a building after midnight.
They brought in metal barricades, really enacted a human shield. The student newspaper, Columbia Spectator, reporting that students broke glass, covered internal cameras, and that they had the building locked down within minutes.
Fox Business Network's Madison Allworth, not far from Hamilton Hall. Fox's Brian Yennis is also there and has a statement just out from the university.
We have asked members of the university community who can avoid coming to the Morningside campus. Access to the campus has been limited to students residing in residential buildings on campus and employees who provide essential services to campus buildings, labs, and residential student life.
Well, those protesters occupying the building keep demanding Columbia divest from Israel, and they want amnesty for their actions. Republican Congressman Mike Lawler tells Fox,
"This is impacting students all across the country, and it needs to stop immediately."
This morning, the U.S. Education Secretary faces questions about all the protests at a Senate hearing. Former President Trump's about to return to court in New York for more testimony this hour at his first criminal trial related to the 2016 election.
Back on the stand will be Gary Farrow. He is Michael Cohen's banker. He set up the show company that Cohen used to pay off Stormy Daniels. Farrow's testimony is designed to start laying out for the jury the financial document trail the DA's office says that backs the 34 charges of Trump filing false business records, all to try and hide his alleged affair with Stormy Daniels.
Fox's Eric Shaw. The former president claims he's being politically persecuted. America's listening to Fox News.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
While those pro-Palestinian protests keep raging on college campuses in the U.S., talks continue in Egypt trying to end the war in Gaza, though Israel's prime minister has again vowed to invade Rafah to root out Hamas militants in that area of Gaza, something the U.S. warns against, fearing a lot more Palestinian deaths.
Officials from Hamas have reportedly left Cairo after mediated talks on Israel's plan for a temporary ceasefire. They're being urged to accept what Secretary of State Antony Blinken's calling an extraordinarily generous proposal. No details officially, but British Foreign Secretary David Cameron told the World Economic Forum in Saudi Arabia that a 40-day truce is on the table and the release of potentially thousands of Palestinian prisoners in exchange for a few dozen hostages. Cameron urging Hamas, take the deal. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
4 law enforcement officers are recovering in North Carolina the morning after they were shot and wounded. 4 others were killed. Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Chief Johnny Jennings tells Fox.
We've put on this uniform and we don't know if we're coming home and the dangers that are involved in this uniform, putting this uniform on. And a situation like this brings it all to reality.
They were all shot by a man who showed up to arrest at a home in Charlotte. He was killed in the gun battle. In a statement, President Biden called the slain officers heroes and again advocated stricter gun control laws. On Wall Street, stocks could fall after yesterday's gains. Dow futures down more than 100 points. A dramatic end of the season for LeBron James and the LA Lakers. Knocked out of the NBA playoffs by Denver.
Murray to try to break the tie. No timeout by the Lakers. They got to go. James, a bump, a feed, a Prince shot. No! Zero's on the clock.
Denver, the defending champion Nuggets, beat LA 108-106 on TNT to advance. Oklahoma City also moves on to round 2, completing a sweep of New Orleans. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Respiratory virus levels way down to the state as respiratory virus season winds down. The overall respiratory virus level now minimal. All counties in the state at low level for COVID-19 hospitalizations. Total number of COVID-19 hospitalizations in the state declining 22% for the week ending April the 20th. Rising tension at a pro-Palestinian protest on the University of Illinois campus, being blamed for the cancellation of a 5K race. The race set to take place Friday at the alma mater statue on campus. Cancellation happened after all police assigned to the 5K course were reassigned to assist with the incident on campus. Indiana man dead. It follows a crash last week in Champaign. Police say the victim riding a cycle Thursday night when he collided with a car at the intersection of University and 4th Street. He died at the hospital. The driver of the car cited at the scene for failure to yield to oncoming traffic. The crash remains under investigation. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. 806 ESPN 93.5. Weather brought to you by Carl.
Monitor your skin regularly and talk with your doctor if you notice any changes. For more information, go to carl.org/skin cancer.
Beautiful morning across East Central Illinois, Mr. Meteorologist. He's Greg Solier. He's been watching this stuff. What are you seeing today, buddy?
Yeah, my friend, nice day's worth of dry weather, largely dry expected for the day tomorrow, and a couple of weaker type weather systems that still generate some rainfall across the air around here, so no real big windows for now. We'll try to expand those as we roll our way into the first week of May, and I'm sure a lot of heavier and more persistent runs at the fields with equipment in mind. Much needed, but still too wet, too soggy coming off those widespread 1 to 3+ inch rains in our part of the Corn Belt, and even more so into the western complex where the drought is winding down, coming off recent rains. And there's a few sprinkles and a couple of spotty showers out towards Omaha, down to Kansas City, St. Joe. That's the stuff that may impact us here later on tonight, but again, maybe just a couple of drops of rain at best from Champaign on northward. For the day today, last of the fog burning off I-70 corridor on southward, mostly sunny, milder, up around 75 later on today. We're currently 60 at Willard and Savoy, 56 at Rantoul, light west-southwest wind, increasing clouds tonight, and maybe a couple of drops of rain, particularly north of Champaign. After midnight tonight, low down to 57. Partly sunny, warm for the day tomorrow. Another good day's worth of drying out there on the fields and in the backyard. High near about 40 degrees. But we'll add a couple of more showers and thunderstorms into the mix late tomorrow night into Thursday. Probably 50-60% coverage. So not everyone will see it. In quarter to half inch, I think, of the way we'll go in rainfall amounts. So hopefully nothing out of control. 60 tomorrow night, 83 on Thursday. Shower activity moves out early on Friday. Partly sunny, again cooler, and a high about 73. There may be a couple of drops Saturday night in rainfall, but otherwise dry for the rest of the weekend into early next week. Highs to about 75 Saturday, 72 Sunday, 78 Monday, back in the lower 80s. The next chance for a thunderstorm the middle part of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soltgay.
All right, cue the band. He is Fox News radio and television star, television anchor, television reporter, not afraid to go anywhere. He is Griff Jenkins. How are you, Griff?
Hey, Stevie J, how are you? Good morning. I'm coming to you from the campus of George Washington University, which is they're now in their 6th day of protesting. The last day of classes was yesterday. They've still got exams, but it is an interesting development because as we watch all of the violent protests happening at places like Columbia and NYU and then now Virginia Commonwealth University down in Richmond, which is about 90 miles south of where I am, things have been under control. I've been out here for several days, and we did have on Sunday some clashes with police when the students took down the metal barricades, kind of closing off the university yard, which is like the center of where the protests and all these tents are. They tore those down, stacked them up, but there weren't any arrests. There wasn't the level of violence that we're seeing elsewhere. But what you do see that's the same on the other campuses are from all over the graffiti, the chalk on the sidewalk. You're seeing long live the Intifada from the river to the sea, the very chance that the Jewish students here, and there's a large Jewish student population, feel are anti-Semitic. So it's developing here, and it's worth noting, we're only about 5 blocks from the White House.
Yeah.
This is right in the backyard of the White House as they try and figure out how to deal with it. Steve?
Well, my policy would be very simple. You can protest as long as it's legal and it's First Amendment right stuff. That's good. Don't hurt anybody. When you break the law and you start putting tents up, I call in my National Guard. Griff, you can't do that, man. You just can't do this.
Yeah, and we've got, about 70 tents here. And the students aren't just GW. There's also students from some of the other campuses, Georgetown, American, and the like. But they are, peacefully out here putting up all the signs, putting up all the tents. And the school, for the most part, is letting it happen. There's GW security here, around the perimeter, keeping an eye on things. And there's D.C. police that have maintained a presence here every day as well, making sure things are not out of control. And it appears that the student protesters are in for the long haul. They have sort of the same demands you're seeing in other schools, which is they want the divestiture of any companies that do business with Israel, and they also want amnesty for any of these students, because the school did on Friday put students on notice that they could be suspended for obstructing things.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess my first move, Griff Jenkins, on the Tammons Towing phone line, live from Washington, D.C., on the campus of George Washington University, just blocks from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. I'll need to see an ID, sir.
Yes.
Because I want to know if you even belong here.
Is it actually a student? Now, Griff, you're saying students, but are they?
Well, that's a great point. The majority of the people that I've seen out here are students, but there are definitely some professional activists, some protesters that are part of as you know, the protest movement is always active about something here in D.C. And so we have definitely, I can tell you, I've seen and spoken to a handful of activists that are adults out here. And it's interesting, one of the students I spoke with, Sabrina Soffer, a Jewish student that's been pretty outspoken about what's happening here. She's a GW student, and she believes that much of what drove this was actually the faculty that sort of have been pushing them in this direction. And we've seen some faculty throughout the days out here standing in solidarity with the students. But an interesting sort of wrinkle in all of it, that the students here, at least Sabrina thinks, that this is all a result of professors have put. They're driven to the movement here.
You still there, Griff?
Sorry, there. Can you see?
That's better.
It's a little spotty.
Yeah, I got you. A couple more questions. Do they get to keep the parting gifts of the pup tents that were bought for them? How's that work?
I don't know. There's a whole. I think the REI outdoor stores probably sold out.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of tents out here. One of the though that stands out more than anything that I've put on social media, we've seen, I was showing it just a little while ago, is Washington in the center of the University Yard, which is where all of this is. Statue covered, draped in a Palestinian flag, and wearing that traditional Palestinian headdress, the keffiyeh. It's also graffiti on there reads "Title Warmongering." So, not perhaps a good look for the university.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the fine reporters I know, he is Griff Jenkins, but he'd rather be surfing.
Yes.
He's the oldest surfer in broadcast.
There's still hope for my senior professional career.
Yes, sir. You are the man. Keep it up. Stay safe. Thanks for the information, my friend.
Thanks, DJ.
Griff Jenkins live. If it has spotty cell phone coverage 5 blocks from the White House, would you think that'd be like You're going to have a great cell, so it's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
You're in Washington. It's by the White House. I don't get it.
Interesting.
Anyway, we're not great signal here today, but great to hear Griff Jenkins. He's an anchor. He's a Fox television reporter. Always, he's at the border. This one's pretty easy. It's 5 blocks in the White House, so they're always around Washington,
Very
D.C.
good.
All right, ESPN 93.5. We jump to our sports headlines at 8:15 ESPN 93.5.
Some bad weather in Detroit yesterday. Has an old-fashioned doubleheader today. Kyle Gibson
People
on the
don't know
mound.
what that is, Diane.
Okay.
That's just amazing.
It's not emptying the ballpark after the first game.
You actually pay a ticket and get 2 games.
Yes.
That's the way we used to do it.
I love it.
I know. It's like, okay, oh boy, I get 18 innings.
Right.
And this is a true doubleheader, and so... Yeah, we'll carry the whole darn thing.
So
2 hours
no
worth.
drive today.
No
then.
drive today.
Okay.
No. So we got 2 Cardinal games, and Jack Flaherty is actually pitching for the
Yes.
Detroit Tigers.
That should make things interesting, too. So Kyle Gibson for the Cardinals, and then Steven Matz for that 5:40 start, approximately. Of course.
They're going to start 40 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1.
And the Game 1 is 2:40 start here on ESPN 93.5.
Which backs that up 55 minutes for the pregame.
Okay.
You'll have a lot of baseball from... you said 2:40, so 1:50, 45. 1:45
Okay.
is your pregame, 1:45. And then 40 minutes after the game ends is when you'd start the second game.
Love hearing MLB on the radio here on ESPN 93.5 and our country station US 105.9. You're home for the Chicago Cubs with the winner yesterday, 3-1 over the New York Mets. It's a 6:10 start today over on US 105.9. Minnesota over the Chicago White Sox 3-2 with a 6:40 start for that continuing series today. The transfer portal has Nico Moretti in it now. Now there's 2 scholarship players, Ty Rogers and Trey Gibson.
So what do we need? I guess you need 12 scholarship players. Isn't that the number? So if we have in this Ben Humrickhouse,
yes,
is the guy that we think we have, but Derek Piper yesterday on the drive said not a closed deal.
Right.
He's committed, but I think there's money involved in all that stuff. So you got to sort that out. And then I think we need 5 more guys.
Right.
5. So we'll have 5 if Ben comes. Humrickhouse. And he's 6'9", shoots the 3 at 41%. Wow.
But Illinois is feeling good now that Orlando Antigua has been hired on board.
It's still probably coming down to the money, right? It's Orlando's big time, but I think, is the center from Kentucky who played 18 minutes a game really asking for $1 million a year?
Man.
He's probably the number 1 shot blocker, and we do need a 5.
But didn't he average only like 18 minutes?
No, 18 minutes a game, and he didn't score much. He's good on the alley-oop, but he's great at shot blocking.
I know, but
what's
that's
the value
a lot
of
of money.
Who's the arbiter of how much? Who decides what's worth what? Who's worth what?
Can you put stuff in there like, get a degree at the U of I?
What do you mean, get it? You have to earn that. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Some kind of clause if you have that much money.
In other words,
I'm saying.
Yeah,
stay committed to us.
Well, maybe they'll change that, but when you kind of inferred they should go to school. Oh,
right.
You want to be like North Carolina. Okay, I got you.
We actually go to school.
You've worked hard to grow your farm and agribusiness forward. Busey suggests you use the Busey Ag Services and Busey Wealth Management to really figure it out. If you want a succession plan, if you're a farmer, who's taking over? If you assume somebody is, you probably ought to line that up. Know the difference between succession and estate planning. Transfer your assets. Well, that can be complicated. Ensure your wishes are clear and understood. You can get all this down in Busey Ag Services and Busey Wealth Management. That's what they do. Put your trust in 2 experienced and talented teams, Busey Ag Services and Busey Wealth Management. For exceptional expertise and individualized solutions, call 800-67-BUSEY. Visit Busey.com. Cultivating growth for more than 155 years. Busey, fulfilling dreams since 1868. Busey Wealth Management, solutions for your lifetime. Investment products and services are not FDIC insured, may lose value, no bank guarantee. Our weather this morning on ESPN 93.5 brought to you by State Farm Insurance and Kurt Lenschow. Like a good neighbor, Kurt and State Farm are there. Our meteorologist Greg Solier just ahead of the Fox Business News. That's coming up next.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Much better days worth of weather ahead for the day today. And generally speaking, a dry setup expected till Thursday. That'll be the next complex frontal boundary, and a couple of disturbances along it will increase the showery weather prospects around here for the end part of the weekend. Early on into the weekend, another weather system in sight by mid next week, but temperatures stay mild to warm. 75 today with a little patchy fog around this morning early on, and a mostly sunny balance to the day. Light west-southwest wind, increasing clouds tonight. Stray shower chance after midnight down to 57. Partly sunny, warm for the day tomorrow. Up around 80 in the southwest to south wind. Could be a shower thunderstorm after midnight tomorrow night too. Low down to about 60. Warm and more humid weather Thursday. Partly sunny. A couple of showers, thunderstorms around morning. More so for the afternoon. Up to 83. Shower chance here with a cooler Friday. That'll be in the morning hours. The shower threat at 73. 75 on Saturday. Could be a shower late in the day. Sunday, Monday dry with high temperatures still well in the 70s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks are losing ground on the employment cost index, rising 1.2% in the first quarter. It's a sign companies are paying more for their staff. The increase is the largest in a year and a half. McDonald's shares are losing ground after its first disappointing quarter in more than 2 years. Its sales growth came in weaker than Wall Street was expecting. Chief Executive Chris Kempczinski says consumers are more discriminating with every dollar they spend. McDonald's also has been impacted by the Middle East conflict and China's slower recovery. Coca-Cola reported an upbeat quarter, and its earnings and revenue both topped expectations. The Federal Reserve is meeting today and tomorrow. Amazon reports earnings after the Wall Street close. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
I'm Emily Campagno, host of the Fox True Crime Podcast. On December 14th, 2010, U.S. Border Patrol agent Brian Terry was killed in the line of duty in Arizona. The investigation exposed the ATF's botched Operation Fast and Furious. This week, I'm joined by retired ATF Deputy Assistant Director Peter Forselli as he discusses how he became a whistleblower and the lengths he had to go through to clear his name for telling the truth. Available now on Apple, Spotify, and FoxNewsPodcasts.com.
Invest in yourself with free rewards checking from Fisher National Bank. Instead of losing a little each month in fees, wouldn't it be nice to earn on your money? Switch to Fisher National. They offer excellent annual percentage yields with no service fees or minimum balance. All you have to do is have 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit a month. It's as easy as that as you maximize your money with your bank and get ready to invest in you. Learn more at FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people, member FDIC.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. Political news is sure to dominate the headlines in 2024, adding uncertainty to the markets. This makes a disciplined investment strategy even more critical to achieving your long-term goals. To assure your investments are aligned with your objectives, contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Relax. Call back 217-359-7293.
We are celebrating today with an outstanding college relations sergeant. Her name is Sam Penland. You are working, making people safe, helping people, talking to people, and you're giving a positive influence like you received. What do you want people to know finally about police?
I think because people often see me and I appear to look young, they don't realize that I've been in policing since 2004. And so when I came in, policing tactics were very different. There has been a huge shift. And the reason why I really focus on my style now is because I have seen hard policing and what works. And so some people might think, oh, well, you're too soft, or we're not fighting crime the way we used to. We are. This doesn't mean that we're not enforcing laws, but there's a difference now with how we can help people.
Relax. Call back 217-359-7293.
Well, Diane mentioned it. Mutt Strut is coming up this Sunday. And Champaign County Humane Society continues their good work in trying to place these wonderful, adoptable, lovable.
Right, and today is National Adopt a Shelter Pet Day.
For her first time on radio ever, Sarah Shepard has joined us now.
Love it.
Not your first rodeo. Sarah, how are you?
Not too bad, Stevie. How are you doing?
Doing fine. Always love talking about the Champaign County Humane Society. So what's the point of Mutt Strut again?
So the Mutt Strut is our annual celebration of all things dog, and it's a wonderful day out in the park for dogs and their people, and it doubles as a fundraiser for the Humane Society. So this is an event where dogs are not only welcome, but they're encouraged to come, because there are so many places that are like, we've got a pet-friendly patio.
Yep.
But this specific event is like, bring your dog and let's have a lot of fun.
You can even make some art with the paws or something, right?
Yes, this is hands down one of my favorite things is seeing the dogs doing their paw painting. And we use Pet Safe paint. You dab a little paint on your dog's paw. You make you can let them walk on it. You can help them press their paws on it, and then we'll hang it up to dry. And then when you're ready to leave Mutt Strut, you can grab it and take it home with you.
Some contests too, right, Sarah?
Yeah. So this is so much fun. The paw painting is sponsored by our good friends at Colorfill Air Filters, and then the contest. Oh my gosh, the peanut butter licking contest. Even if you don't have a dog and you want to come as a bonus human, it's just like a $5 donation to the Humane Society. But, imagine 60 to 70 to 100 dogs in different categories of like small dogs, medium dogs, and big dogs, each having their own opportunity to lick a ball of frozen peanut butter off a plate as fast as they can. It is so much fun. It is so much fun.
Yeah, they'll do everything for peanut butter. That's a good one. There's no doubt
And you
about
have
it.
things like food trucks if you aren't into peanut butter, and beer from Triptych.
Exactly.
I love it. So
Triptych has been one of our longtime supporters of Mutt Strut, and the fundraising aspect of it is we've had people sign up their dogs, and they've been reaching out to their network of friends and family and coworkers, raising money, and the pet, because it's not just limited to dogs when it comes to fundraising, the pet that raises the most money for Mutt Strut becomes the top dog, and their face will be featured on the label of an upcoming Triptych brew this fall.
Yes, I love that.
Fun stuff at the Champaign County Humane Society. I honestly would struggle if I had to work there because I just want to take them home. I mean, there's so many. I see those ads where the animal cruelty ads, and I have
I know.
I have to just turn it.
And the Sarah McLachlan tune in the background.
Man.
I know.
Brutal.
And if I could impart one thing to you guys, so I've been giving a lot of tours at our new shelter. And, you know, if I could plug the fact that, you know, we are open in our new location in Champaign. Sometimes we have people going out to the old place in Urbana, but we are open in our new location in Champaign.
And where is that?
It's at 4003 Kearns Drive. So it's just south of the intersection of Staley and Springfield in Champaign.
Which in Springfield? It was what in Springfield?
Staley and Springfield.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's near me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Southwest Champaign.
I'll be sure not to come.
And
I can't. Cute little doggies. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Oh boy.
I know, right?
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Congratulations. So can I get a tour? Can we do tours? Can people call and say I want a tour?
I mean, yeah, just email me and I will see if I can coordinate a time and give, you know, what I like to call the nickel tour.
Sure, that's all you need. That's all you need. But you like it. It's a nice facility, I take it, huh?
It really is. And one thing we've heard from a lot of people is that a common refrain is that they've been to a lot of animal shelters and the animals seem sad. And, you know, and like you said, Stevie, you know, it would be so hard seeing these sad faces. But with our new facility, it's bright, there's lots of sunshine and natural light that comes in, and we've gotten the comments from a lot of people that, you know, the animals, obviously they're looking for homes, but they don't seem so sad, so desperate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that speaks just so huge of the thought and the planning that went into the new facility, and to our volunteers, our dedicated volunteers, and our, you know, staff members who take care of these animals every day.
It's awesome. You're doing good work. All right, Mutt Strut Sunday.
And you can find out details about, you know, Mutt Strut and the home-to-home program. I love that idea. There's just all the things that Sarah was informing us about at cuhumane.org.
Sarah, thanks for being on. Always a pleasure.
You bet, guys. Thanks for calling.
Talk to you
All
later.
right, take care.
Sarah Shepard. She's a longtime radio person.
Right in town. And Sunday is when the event will happen at Crystal Lake Park in Urbana from 4 to 7.
All right. It's the last half hour of the program. You're always welcome to text us on the Fisher National Bank text line. That is 217-359-2255. And you are always welcome. If you want to chime in on whatever we've been talking
We're
about.
ESPN 93.5. And we always podcast the show, too.
Intifada University, Columbia University's Hamilton Hall occupied by Gaza protesters who hung an Intifada banner after the university failed to enforce Monday's deadline to take down the campus tent city. Overnight, the protesters smashed into the Dean's building. With protests at 20 universities in 16 states, police moving in today at Yale and UNC Chapel Hill. New York Congressman Dan Muser says about time.
They want to be called anarchists, but really what they are is they're simply criminals engaged in destruction.
On Fox Business, police at UT Austin say many arrested are not students who had a stash of baseball-sized rocks. Terrible toll in Charlotte, North Carolina. 4 officers killed, 4 wounded as U.S. Marshals try to serve a warrant on a felon. The Trump trial resuming in New York with a banker for the former president's disgraced former lawyer, Michael Cohen. America is listening to Fox News.
Since Busey Bank first opened our doors in 1868, we have built upon a tradition of close relationships and broad financial capabilities. Our experienced team provides the highest level of personalized service to ensure we accomplish your goals, simplifying your wealth management and business lending needs and ensuring a legacy for generations. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Here's a look at local news. Teen is dead and follows a crash in Mattoon over the weekend. 17-year-old died following the accident Saturday near Woodlawn Avenue. Coles County Coroner's Office identified the victim as Daniel Brummett. The investigation continues. Calumet City man charged with murder in a Champaign shooting in February. Police say a man shot February 19th in the 700 block of West Vine Street. Victim treated and released. Investigators determined the man seated in his car in a driveway. When Alan Williams approached, the car opened fire. Williams then fled. An investigation underway. It follows an armed robbery in Urbana. Police say a masked man armed with a gun enters a business Friday in the 1500 block of North Cunningham Avenue, demanding money. The cashier gave him an unknown amount, then fled the scene on foot to a nearby apartment complex where he was seen entering a four-door sedan. Anyone on his whereabouts, you're asked to contact police in this incident. But that's what's happening. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather. Free Central Illinois Champaign event is Saturday. Pretty decent spell ahead over the next couple of days. Next significant weather system due in for the second half of the week. And by and large, pretty acceptable weather. Pleasant temperatures over the upcoming weekend time frame. Another one of these spring weather systems due in middle part of next week as well. A little patchy fog around this morning. Mostly sunny skies, milder weather, otherwise 75. And a light west-southwest wind. Clouds gather tonight. Could be a stray shower, especially north of Champaign. After midnight tonight, down at 57. Partly sunny, warm for the day. Tomorrow, the high around 80. Better odds for a shower thunderstorm after midnight. Tomorrow night, lows near 60. And a warmer, more humid Thursday. A couple of showers, thunderstorms around both morning and afternoon. These tending to be more scattered in nature at 83. Lingering shower chance Friday. Cooler at 73. Weekend forecast not bad. Maybe a shower late Saturday night, dry Sunday, and Monday. High temperature still well into the 70s, back to 80. And a shower thunderstorm chance next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
I talked a lot about the campus disruptions. We've got it here. I'm not sure this morning what the latest is. I think they're still there. Tents are up in parts. I don't think it's as big or as active, so to speak, as some of these others like Yale and Columbia. And it's not that bad, at least yet. I know that the police are working hard, our administration working hard on...
Absolutely.
All right, ESPN 93.5. So a phone call from a UCLA parent of a Jewish student to the UCLA police about their child not being allowed to be on campus and blocked from entering a building. And the parent has released this as it gave permission, and so it appeared on Twitter. So here's the perspective of a Jewish family with all of this going on, this anti-Semitic, hateful stuff.
They said because he's Jewish, he cannot enter that area, and that they won't issue him a wristband.
So that wasn't a university thing. That's probably the protesters that are out there.
Right. So are the protesters allowed to not allow a student who pays tuition access to their class in the library?
No, they're not allowed, but unfortunately they have kind of taken over that little area right there. But is there any other entrance that your son can enter through?
No, they are barricading every area for him to get into. And with all due respect, why is that even tolerated? Like, why should a Jewish kid have to go to another entrance?
It's not, I don't know if I'm going to say it's tolerated, but unfortunately the police are not intervening with that right now. And this is coming from the university, so if you had any questions or concern, you would take it with the university itself.
So the university has taken a stance that they will not, in fact, allow or help Jewish students get to their classes. That this is going to be tolerated.
They have. We've received a directive to not intervene at this time. Yes.
And at what point have they given a directive to you? At what point you should intervene?
As far as right now, no.
Okay. Is there anything we can do as concerned parents about...
I would suggest contacting the chancellor's office or higher ups in the university with your concerns. I do have a phone number, but I don't know if they're going to answer, if they're going to have a different answer, but I can give you a phone number.
Yeah. Could you give me that number?
310 825 2563, and you can ask your questions and express your concerns there and see if they have an answer for you.
Okay, lastly, just so I know, at what point does UCPD get involved? Because if my child's safety...
So if your son needs police assistance, and of course he can contact us.
So I'm calling and saying he needs police assistance to get into his class, that people aren't letting him into his class.
We're not forcing them to move out of the area. That's what, if he's getting attacked or he has a police concern, then yes, but the fact that it's just locked off, they're not intervening with that right now.
So if he physically gets attacked, at that point we should contact you.
All I'm saying is we're not unblocking the entrances.
So you're allowing the protesters to block the Jewish students from going?
I'm not allowing it.
Yeah.
The school is saying that they will not be removed at this time.
Okay. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Wow.
UCLA, once again.
Yeah, UCLA,
not
a
local.
concerned Jewish mother, and apparently she even hesitated and said, well, if he's attacked, do I call him? Yeah. What the world? So here's the message. Jewish people, stay away. That's your message. What in the world are you tolerating that for? We wouldn't tolerate that. Why are we doing it? It is the culture of a university to want to, really step back, get your people together, and take time. That's just the culture. And probably not a bad idea to talk about I'm not saying, but that is clear. You can't block them. You can't take over an area. What are you doing? You don't take over an area.
And this is the time of year where you need to go to the library and finish up your research and study for finals.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. I would be really, really bad at these positions because I would make a decision rather quickly, breaking the law. You are spewing what could be deemed as violent speech.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Hate speech.
And you can't camp out. There's no tents allowed. We have that clearly in our policy. And you got to go. And if you're not going to go, then I'll make you go. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do. We get our gear on, and we're forced to do it. And you can say police brutality all you want, but when you don't obey the law, I'll make you do that in this instance.
That's what happens when you break the law.
Well,
there's consequences.
Then they just get video. People say, look how rough they're supposed to talk it through. Get a counselor. We're moving you off the property.
Right.
So what do you want to do with this? And it's going to be on your record. It's going to be a felonious act. And when you resist, you'll be resisting, and that's another charge. Anyway, it is beyond comprehension what we're allowing, the whole point. You don't allow it. You have people in there said, okay, and look what they're doing in Texas, Florida. They don't do that. They just move them out. That's what you do. But we're not like that. Depends on where you live. It depends on the politics of where you live. Anyway, 842 217-359-2255. You got anything coming in the text line, feel free. I am Stevie Jay. It's Diane Ducey.
Morning.
We got sports headlines and weather before we get out of here. Stand by.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less. When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com. When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Your lawn is an important investment. Let Spring Green take care of that lawn. Your local, family-owned and operated Spring Green has been committed to beautifying your neighborhood through quality, service, and professionalism. Spring Green's full program customers are backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Smart Money Magazine reports that consumers value a home with a well-maintained lawn and landscape up to 11.3% higher than the base price. Why don't you call Spring Green today, 359-2111, or visit them at spring-green.com.
Illini fans, this year we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium for the 2024 Fighting Illini football season. Season tickets for the 2024 football season are on sale now, and Illini fans who renew their season tickets by February 1st are eligible to win amazing prizes, memorabilia, and experiences. Secure your season tickets for Homecoming, Dad's Day, and a special rededication of Memorial Stadium on October 19th against Michigan. Visit fightingillini.com for more information.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
All right, Checker Sports headlines, 8:45.
Kyle Gibson on the mound for the first game that starts at 2:40 here on US 105.9 against Jack Flaherty for the Detroit Tigers.
He went to Baltimore, and it was just okay. And now he signed a free agent deal with Detroit, and Jack can be very, very good. So we'll see what happens.
How many years with the Cardinals?
Oh, I don't know, 4 or 5.
Okay.
He was really good, and there was a half a year he was unhittable, and that's kind of what we thought Cardinals were going to get. But it's been 5 years ago since that happened. So Jack's now probably 30. Oh, aging.
That's great. It seems like yesterday.
I know.
Stevie.
I know.
All right, and we have a doubleheader because of the rain and inclement conditions yesterday. So a 5:40 start approximately for St. Louis and Detroit later on with Steven Matz on the mound. Cubbies over the New York Mets 3-1. They'll be in New York for the 6:10 start over on US 105.9. Minnesota over the Chicago White Sox 3-2, and the White Sox and Minnesota Twins will be at it at 6:40 today. Illinois and Indiana State number 24 with the 6 o'clock first pitch. What's also trending in Illini Nation is the transfer portal with Nico Moretti. Only 2 scholarship players left with Ty Rogers and Trey Gibbs-Lawhorn. And Kansas City Chiefs lock in a deal with Travis Kelce. That's another trending story that he's got another year. Who needs Taylor? She could shake it off. He's making enough money. He can pick up the tab on dinner now.
He was making enough before.
Exactly.
$17 million. Now.
That's sports. I'm Diane Ducey.
Bring on spring. Get the light and delicious Greek pizza, topped with premium mozzarella, feta, new sliced Kalamata olives, diced tomatoes, mild peppers, and red onions. It's the best Detroit-style pizza around with a crispy, crunchy, cheesy crust to the edge. Hurry in and enjoy a large Greek Detroit-style pizza for $16.99. Code word Greek. Jets. Better because it has to be.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
This is Eric Bowen with Provident Financial Group. We are honored to be celebrating 15 years of service and want to thank all of our amazing clients for their confidence and trust. We look forward to meeting the needs of current and future clients in the years to come. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. Illini football star Isaiah Williams on why he lives at Pacifica on Green in Champaign.
Everything is literally luxury, and the price that you getting this stuff for is crazy. Like one of the nicest apartments complexes I've done seen, from the moment you walk into the building to the elevators to when you get in the room. Everything is just luxury, top notch, and you getting it for a good price.
To learn more about it or book a tour, go to pacificaongreen.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana and vicinity. Much better days worth of weather ahead for the day today, and generally speaking, a dry setup expected till Thursday. That'll be the next complex frontal boundary, and a couple of disturbances along it will increase the showery weather prospects around here for the end part of the weekend, early on into the weekend. Another weather system in sight by mid next week, but temperatures stay mild to warm. 75 today with a little patchy fog around this morning early on, and a mostly sunny balance to the day. Light west-southwest wind, increasing clouds tonight. Stray shower chance after midnight down to 57. Partly sunny, warm for the day tomorrow. Up around 80 in a southwest to south wind. Could be a shower thunderstorm after midnight tomorrow night too. Low down to about 60. Warm and more humid weather Thursday. Partly sunny. A couple of showers, thunderstorms around morning. More so for the afternoon. Up to 83. Shower chance here with a cooler Friday. That'll be in the morning hours. The shower threat at 73. 75 on Saturday. Could be a shower late in the day. Sunday, Monday dry with high temperatures still well in the 70s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right, ESPN 93.5. We're here in Nathaniel's son Thursdays with his Did You Know?
Yes.
We have Christian's son. We have Gracie daughter, but we don't really call her Benjamin's son.
Yeah.
Is my middle triplet, who's here in the studio for the last few minutes of the program. How are you?
Doing great, and happy to be here, Dad. Thanks for having me.
Betcha. We're working with some people. Before 2024 started, we talked about digital marketing, and Benjamin's our partner in that. And getting some good results, and digital has been out there a long time. We were slow in kind of crafting a plan, but we are now doing radio/digital, and we got a really good guy doing it.
Yeah.
Tell people what you can do for them. I mean, what is it that you can do?
What I love about digital marketing is I get to help small businesses figure out how to grow. And oftentimes, it's not exactly what you think it is these days, because traditional marketing is powerful. But digital marketing has something very special about it, and typically it has a lot of data. It has a lot of data that we can look at and point at and say, this is working, this isn't working, and then we can tweak, and we have a lot of information to go off of.
Is it for everybody, do you think, or just a matter of how the shoe fits, right?
You have to have a business that's ready to grow. So if you're not ready for that, then it's probably not quite right. But we can help people build websites, manage social media pages, as well as get traffic to social media pages, get traffic to websites, which obviously brings in more business. And those are just a few of the things. But it is a very well-rounded situation with digital marketing because there's so much you can do, but you also have to understand it. And it is increasingly dense with all of the things that are happening in the world of technology.
Yeah, lots to go. And we combine that with our local radio. And then we have a pretty powerful combination. We were doing some recruitment for Frasca.
Yeah.
And we were getting, you figured out how to get them on 100 different job boards around the world, and that we were getting applications from everywhere.
That's great.
And we can target at the Champaign County if you're looking for.
Exactly.
Not just Indeed, we can do other things.
That's just one application for it. That's right. Recruiting is definitely a very awesome thing you can do with this technology and with digital marketing, and we were able to help Frasca a lot, and happy to help.
Yeah, it's kind of like baseball and analytics. Everything is now analyzed in numbers. That's what you're doing with digital. So
it's data-centered, which is the way it should be.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to help people grow, isn't it, Benjamin?
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Like I said, it's a lot of fun to work with small business owners and figure it out. We just get to brainstorm and think about where the priorities are and make it happen.
And what's your website?
It's willowcress.com. That's WILLOWCRE.com. willowcrest.com.
And they're our partner in radio, and if you are
That's right.
somebody that knows you need to be there, but you don't know how, call Diane. And then,
Yeah, and oftentimes
I can connect you.
Yeah, you
that's
can
right.
connect. That's
Diane
right,
can
yeah.
connect you, and it is a dense area. Figuring out how you can use the online world to help your business and what you're working on. But that's often what I am for my clients. Is I'm the tech guy.
Yeah,
I just help
yeah.
them figure it out.
Right,
And
getting
sometimes
them through the weeds,
that's right.
Benjamin.
Sometimes their email's
have-
not working, and I'll help
Right.
with that too.
Absolutely.
No, I know. No, it's like hand him your phone. He'll fix it. That kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, terrific. And again, to go to your website, see some of the examples of what you offer. It's what?
willowcrest.com.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Easy to find. Okay. All right.
And, StevieJay.com. If you want to hit up our website
Absolutely.
and send us a note, we'll get you to Benjamin. But we can take it up a notch and bring you more clients for sure.
And a lot of times, who are they? Who are they? Well, he's Benjamin's son, so you can trust that.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Well,
that's
and
right.
even if there's a lot of traditional advertising going on, there's still very likely a benefit with digital
No, it's
advertising.
everybody.
And there's a lot of things you can do. Even with Google, you can do something called Google Ads. That's a very, very powerful tool in itself.
Well,
that
there's-
almost anyone could benefit from.
A lot of
if you're a
people think
business
they
owner.
need to be there. They just don't know how. So we're
Exactly.
here for you.
Right,
Benjamin,
you got
thanks
the
for dropping
connection.
by. Appreciate that. Good to see you.
Thank you, Dad.
My son, Benjamin's son. All right, we're done. We'll be back tomorrow. Doubleheader Cardinals later today on air. No drive today. Thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane
Have a great
Ducey. I'm
day.
Stevie J. Thank you, Benjamin.
Thank you.
We'll be back in the morning. ESPN 93.5. I'm Stevie J. Have a great Tuesday.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions here to tell you today, hey, we've got solutions for you. You have gurgling toilets, slow drains? Have you been told that you have to jackhammer and mess up your entire house and property just to fix a pipe? Have you been told your sewer lines failed? Your drain lines don't work? Call us today. Have our expert drain cleaning team come out, run your lines, camera them, locate, and we can offer you a solution today. Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with the Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Illini pizza fans, great things come from Jet's Pizza. Detroit-style pizza is one of them. Freshly made dough pressed into steel pans inspired by the Motor City. Topped with premium mozzarella, Mama Jet's secret sauce, fresh toppings, then baked to the thickest, crispiest, cheesy crunch. Want Detroit-style proof? Order Jet's famous 8-corner pizza. It's 8 pieces of crispy, crunchy, and cheesy to the edge pizza. Right now, get $5 off an 8-corner pizza at regular menu price. Online code 8SAVE. Jet's Pizza. Better because it has to be.
Relax. Call back 217-359-7293.
We are celebrating today with an outstanding college relations sergeant. Her name is Sam Penland. You are working, making people safe, helping people, talking to people, and you're giving a positive influence like you received. What do you want people to know finally about police?
I think because people often see me and I appear to look young, they don't realize that I've been in policing since 2004. And so when I came in, policing tactics were very different. There has been a huge shift. And the reason why I really focus on my style now is because I have seen hard policing and what works. And so some people might think, oh, well, you're too soft, or we're not fighting crime the way we used to. We are. This doesn't mean that we're not enforcing laws, but there's a difference now with how we can help people.
Relax. Call back 217-359-7293.
So you live in the country or a rural area, but you struggle with internet, right? Well, not anymore. MF Wireless is your premier rural high-speed internet provider. Macomber Farms Wireless is a local internet provider. It started in Camargo. Their focus, providing you reliable, high-speed internet with friendly and fast customer service. Just go to MF, as in Macomber Farms, mfwireless.com. Check for coverage. mfwireless.com.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot?